Dak Prescott is in line for a massive contract extension. And before we even start talking about whether or not he deserves this contract extension and whether or not he deserves to be paid as a top flight quarterback, let's actually take a look at the actual list of the top 10 paid quarterbacks in the league and how much they're making. So if we take a look at this list here, this is giving us the list of top 10 quarterbacks based off of their average salary coming into the 2023 season. And we see Josh Allen is at number 10 on this list, making $43 million a year. Deshaun Watson at $46 million. Kyler Murray at $46.1. Russell Wilson at $49. Aaron Rodgers at $50.3, Jalen Hurts at $51 million, Lamar Jackson at $52, Justin Herbert at $52.5, and Patrick Mahomes at $52.65, with Joe Burrow making $55 million for the highest annual per year salary for any quarterback in the National Football League and really any player in the National Football League. And Dak Prescott, as reported by Jordan Schultz, is in line to get between $55 and $60 million per year. Does he deserve it? Absolutely. Dak Prescott deserves every single penny of that money that he is supposed to be making this year, because for one, the narrative that people have tried to use against Dak Prescott, and one of the main criticisms and one of the main points of criticisms that people have had for Dak Prescott, that which you can see now, you can see this for yourself. I'm showing it to you on the screen. You can see now is honestly false and a nonsensical thing to actually try to criticize Dak Prescott with, is the fact that he should be looking like prime Joe Montana every time he goes on the field because he's making top 5 quarterback money. He's being paid top flight money, when that's actually false. Guys like Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, who just got benched, Jalen Hurts, who that was a highway robbery, Justin Herbert, who's never accomplished anything in his career. You have guys like this making much more money than Dak Prescott this season, yet we don't hear nearly the type of criticism that we hear about those guys, and it's for obvious reasons. Dak Prescott plays for the Dallas Cowboys. But does he deserve to be paid like the rest of these guys? 100%. One thing that we know about free agency is every year there's a new bar or new standard set for what players are going to be being paid. And Dak Prescott's starting salary is going to be $55 million per year. He's the next guy up, and he has played up to the level of a quarterback that is a top 3, top 5 quarterback this season. So he 100% deserves to get that money. And not only has he played up to that level this season, but throughout his career, he has consistently been an around 100 passer rating type of quarterback. And that's honestly the most you can ask for out of anybody that's leading your team. There's one thing that has been consistently true about Dak Prescott, regardless of, like I said, whether it's a win or loss, and that's the Cowboys are never having to play against Dak. They're never in a situation where they're necessarily having to win in spite of Dak. Usually if they're winning, he's a big contributor to that win. Usually if they're losing, he's not the sole reason that they lost. In fact, he's one of the last reasons that you would really look at on an objective level and say that they lost. There are very few games in his career where you can look at and be like, he literally threw that game away and never gave the team a chance to win the game. Maybe that game against the Denver Broncos, the debacle in week 6 a couple of years back. Maybe that game is one of those games you can look at and be like, damn, Dak really didn't give us a chance to win that game. But every other game outside of then, about 98% of the time, the quarterback of our team right now is either a large reason that we're winning games, or he's definitely not a reason that we're losing games. And that's really all you can ask for out of that particular position.
Man, he seems so comfortable in this offense. Listen, obviously you had Kellen Moore that last year, and the head coach now wants to call it, and you just see him growing as a quarterback in that system. Listen, I think he's smart. I think he's tough. I think he brings a different aspect as far as him being able to throw at pinpoint accuracy and know where to go with the ball, but also have the ability to run with the ball and be able to make plays with his legs. Listen, he's not like Fields and these other guys, but he can make some plays with his legs.
And for those of y'all that are going to try to talk about how Dak Prescott needs to take a hometown discount and help out the Dallas Cowboys so that way we have more salary cap room to make other moves, miss me with that. I don't want to hear anything else about these dudes that's going out on this field, putting themselves in harm's way, taking any type of hometown discount on our behalf, especially as fans, and definitely not on the behalf of the owners of these teams, these rich billionaire owners. Why are they taking discounts for these guys when we've seen with Russell Wilson and plenty of other players that they're not willing to show the same loyalty to players as it pertains to business, right? They're trying to take Russell Wilson's money right from under his nose as we currently speak. There's no reason, especially when the Cowboys have not shown us anything as it pertains to player acquisition, trying to obtain players in their prime. And when they do obtain a player in their prime, like an Amari Cooper, they trade him away for a bag of chips. They don't use the money that they're trying to save by maneuvering around the salary cap to re-sign players that can actually help this team win a championship and go further than just a divisional round. The Joneses have not shown us any type of propensity to make major moves with any type of salary cap that's left available. So at this point, I don't care. I want the guys that are on our team and consistently being effective and efficient on that field to get all of their coins, bro. Dak Prescott 100% deserves every single penny that's coming his way. CeeDee Lamb is going to deserve every penny that comes his way. Michael Parsons is going to deserve. I want all these guys to get their money because quit letting the media, and a lot of time the owner of these teams utilize the media to try to skew public perception and kind of turn these players into bad guys or into villains on behalf of the owners and their negotiations. Quit letting yourself be used like that, because at the end of the day, to be quite honest, the salary cap is none of our business as fans. It's these owners and general managers' jobs to make the salary cap work and to acquire players that are going to help them win games within the rules and structures of the salary cap. That has nothing to do with fans, and nor does it have anything to do with players. And we've seen players say this year after year after year. We saw Tom Brady take hometown discounts year after year for the New England Patriots, and they never went out and just got big name signings. The biggest thing they did was get Randy Moss, and even then he was coming off the bargain bin because he was coming off of a down season or a down situation with the Raiders, right? So at what point as fans are we going to bag away from this conversation, stop watching these dudes' pockets, and stop getting so invested in how much each player is making? Cool, if he gets paid like a $55 to $60 million quarterback, then yes, I 100% expect Dak Prescott to play like a top 5 quarterback over the course of this contract. If he drops down and he's a middle of pack type of guy, then yes, it's going to be an overpay. Objectively speaking, that's an overpay. That's not market value. But as long as they're playing up to market value, then as fans, we should have nothing to say about how much these players are able to bring home. But either way, yes, Dak Prescott is going to be making about $55 to $6 million per year, maybe as soon as this upcoming offseason. And to be honest, there's tons of other moves that can be made elsewhere to really help the Cowboys be able to save money, move money around, get players. And Dak Prescott signing a contract that he 100% deserves based off of what other guys are being paid is not going to negatively affect the Cowboys to the point to where they cannot compete. Because at the end of the day, all we've seen them do is get players that no one else wants, get players that are on their last legs, or get players that only are available for bargain shopping. And then we'll see them sign guys like Rashaan Evans, and then he gets released based off of weed charges and lack of productivity. We're going to talk about that in another video. But either way, I want to come to you with this report real quick about Dak Prescott's upcoming contract extension. And you guys let me know down in the comments below, are you excited about having Dak Prescott as the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for the next 3 to 4 years? And before you start talking about, oh, he doesn't deserve it because he's been here for almost 8 years now and we haven't won a Super Bowl, I want y'all to take a look at the quarterbacks that are currently playing in the National Football League right now. Adding in Joe Flacco, who just came off of his couch a few weeks ago, there's literally only 3 guys right now that are currently playing, and really I guess you could say 4, even though one of them hasn't played in a minute. There's 4 dudes that are currently playing right now that have even won a Super Bowl currently in the National Football League. It's not like half the league has a Super Bowl and Dak's one of the last guys looking in. You have Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, who won his almost over a decade ago, Joe Flacco, who won his over a decade ago, and Russell Wilson, who won his what feels like a decade ago, right? Patrick Mahomes is literally the only quarterback in the National Football League right now that has won a Super Bowl and is under the age of 30. So stop using that stupid reason to criticize players on our team when there's literally only a handful of guys in the league, and not even a handful of guys in the league who have even accomplished the very feat that you're criticizing Dak Prescott for. There's plenty of these other guys, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, all these dudes have been in the league for various years, yet there's still only one quarterback under the age of 30 right now that has actually won a Super Bowl. Stop using that as a reason to criticize Dak Prescott. Stop using that as a reason to justify why you don't want him to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Because if that's the case, that means you don't want a quarterback unless their name is Patrick Mahomes. But either way, y'all always end these videos. How about them Cowboys? Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Take it away, Pastor.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.